the website article World History Encyclopedia, author Joshua J. Mark states that mythology is the study or interpretation of often sacred tales or fables, known as myths, or the collection of such stories that deal with the various aspects of the human condition, good and evil, cultural values and traditions, life and death, or the gods or a god. Those who believe in mythology understand that it is what represents and gives meaning to everything in the world. Mythology provides reasons as to why things happen, such as sunrise and sunset. Certain myths also pertain to certain cultures. This is what makes Greek mythology different. It is different because it pertains to the body of stories concerning the gods, heroes, and rituals of the ancient Greeks, says John Richard Thornhill Pollard, author of the website Britannica. So this is my mission today, to inform you about the different aspects of Greek mythology. By knowing the different aspects of Greek mythology, we understand more about Greek culture, the reasons why ancient decisions were made, and the formation of ancient civilizations. Greek mythology is unique, and its certain beliefs have influenced the daily lives and actions of the ancient Greeks. I will be informing you about what Greek mythology is, the different gods and their influences, and how it has helped shape Greek culture and much of the world. In our first point, we will talk about what Greek mythology is exactly. Greek mythology has many stories and myths that teach people why certain phenomena occur in the world. I will first talk about what Greek mythology is, and then talk about the different beliefs that come with it. While there are many different types of mythology in the world, Greek mythology is one that we have seen help shape many different ancient civilizations in the Western world. Greek mythology is also a polytheistic religion, meaning that this religion has a belief of multiple gods. Greek mythology is also a belief that doesn't include written text, so myths were passed down orally. This later aided in the formation of tradition and the formation of written text and literature. The ancient Greeks believed in gods who were controlling all aspects of human life: world, theater, justice, politics, marriage, battle, etc., National Geographic. Each god the Greeks believed in represented a different part of life. Decisions were made by communication with the gods through the oracle at Delphi, who could see visions that could predict the future. Belief was a large part of democracy. Since the Greeks let belief lead their lives, church and state were combined rather than separate. Greek mythology encompasses lots of daily life and has many different beliefs to it. Now that we understand what Greek mythology is, we will dive deeper to learn about the gods. Olympian gods are created to be like humans. So while some may picture gods as flawless and untouchable, the Olympic gods were just as flawed as humans were. In our next point, we will talk about the different gods and their influences in people's lives. In Greek mythology, there are 13 deities or gods who are said to be living on Mount Olympus. Now, these 13 are not the only gods, there are hundreds more, but these are the original. First is the god Zeus, who is the god of the sky, and he is said to be the most powerful of any god. Next comes Hera, who is the goddess of marriage and the queen of Olympus. Next comes Poseidon, who is the god of the sea and brother of Zeus. Next comes Hades, who is the brother of Zeus and the god of death and the underworld. Next comes Aphrodite, who is the goddess of love and beauty. Next comes Apollo, who is the god of music and healing. Next comes Ares, who is god of war. Next comes Artemis, who is the goddess of the hunt and protector of women in childbirth. She is the twin of Apollo. Next comes Athena, who is the goddess of wisdom. Next comes Hephaestus, who is the goddess of fire and the forge. Then comes Hestia, who is the goddess of the hearth, which is the fireplace at the center of the home. Next comes Hermes, the messenger god. Then comes Demeter, goddess of the harvest. And lastly comes Dionysus, the god of wine and festivity. The gods had influence over many parts of lives of Greeks. Monuments, buildings, and statues were created in honor of the gods. Since the gods were created as humans and were just as flawed, they weren't believed to be almighty beings, but in order to honor them, rituals were performed in order to receive good fortune from them. From the website Kinnold, it states, the ancient gods and goddesses married humans, had children, fought wars, and argued with each other. One of the most famous activities created by the Greeks and later adopted into Roman culture was the Olympics. The Olympics was held in Olympia, and it was made in order to honor Zeus. All of the different gods had influence on the lives of the ancient Greeks. In the next point, we will talk about how Greek mythology has affected Greek culture and its impacts all over the world. As we have mentioned before, mythology in ancient Greece has affected the lives of everyone there, including future generations. By knowing what Greek mythology is, we understand the rituals and traditions that were performed by the ancient Greeks. First, we will look at how it has impacted Greek culture, and then we will look at how it has impacted the rest of the world. Since the Greeks believed that gods and goddesses controlled much of their lives, prayer was very important. It was used to ask for help and protection from the gods. According to the website My Learning, it states that the ancient Greeks asked for help and protection because if the gods were unhappy with someone, they would then punish them. Religion and belief were two important aspects of the Greek culture, but it wasn't only Greek culture. It helped influence things in modern times, like video games, movies, clothing brands, sports teams, etc. I'm sure we're all aware of the brand Nike. Well, the name of the brand was actually based on a minor goddess named Nike, who was the goddess of victory. Some famous movies are the Percy Jackson movies and books, the Hercules movies, both live action versions and the animated one, or the famous movie Troy. Many aspects of Greek mythology have helped influence things all over the world. Not only does Greek mythology influence things in Greek culture, but it helped influences cultures around the world. While some may not understand much about Greek mythology, it is important to know that it is what influences many of the things we see in our cultures. Hopefully today you were able to find how unique Greek culture was and how Greek culture has been affected so much by Greek mythology. Today we learned about what Greek mythology was, the different gods and their influences, and how it has helped shape Greek culture and much of the world. Through tales and traditions, the Greeks were successful in their ways to teach the rest of the world about their culture. Hopefully I was successful in my ways when teaching you about Greek mythology. And hopefully you can continue to pass down the oral tradition along to others. Thank you.